I remember vividly the reaction that I got when I posted this dress, this traditional Indian wear, and said that it was made by me. A lot of people did not believe it. Okay, quick story. My sister had a function and they were asked to, dressed in Indian traditional wear. She didn't, she just had to call me to fix something up for her. At the first instance, I thought of getting, all those very expensive Indian fabric and just making a top and a trouser for her. The fabric already speaks volume, but I thought about it. Why spend thousands buying fabric and sewing something simple? Why not be creative with just ordinary chiffon and maybe crepe? So I went ahead and learned how to make this DHOTI trouser, or some people call it PATIALA salwar. If you watch this video to the end, you will see how I was able to cut this Indian traditional trouser that I know a lot of people have been familiar with it. You can wear this trouser with your peplum top. You can wear it. You could just, style this trouser in a very beautiful way. It is very, very, very easy to make. If you watch this video to the end, you are certainly sure of making this trouser very soon. Welcome back to my channel. I'm super happy to have you back. If you're new, please do not forget to subscribe before the end of this video. Hit on the notification bell to get notifications when I post new videos. So let's get started, guys. Okay, this here is just a template on how to cut the PATIALA salwar trouser. Okay, so these three blocks you can see here is what makes up the DHOTI trouser. Those are the three major parts when cutting your trouser. I did the paper representation because I realized that the print on my fabric refused for the chalk that I use in, marking, taking my measurement. It did not allow it to show. It wasn't showing clearly. So I decided to do a paper representation first before I go into cutting of fabrics. The measured length or measurement that you'll be needing here is your trouser length measurement, and there's a a standard measurement for that. When you have your trouser length, you add 3 inches to it. Remember that the traditional Indian wear have large bands, so minus the band, the size of the band. If you want to make an 8 inches or 10 inches band, preferably start from 8 to 10 inches. In this case, I use the 10-inch band. So you measure the length of your trouser, add 3 inches to it, and subtract your band. So the whatever result or answer you get, that is the length of the trouser you're going to use to make this block you're seeing right here. Okay, and the length of our trouser in this case is length A to B, C to D, according to how I numbered it, I labeled it here, E to F. Those are the lengths of the trousers. Okay, and I've told you the measurement like I wrote here below. Another measurement that you'll be needing is your entry or your ankle measurement, which is XB here. In this case, I used 1.5, and the YZ, which is also equal to, the YZ measurement is 11 or 15. That's for your crotch measurements. Okay, so you could just screenshot it to really see what I'm talking about. So right here, I'm just trying to show you guys how I was able to cut my fabric. I'm showing you on paper because I realized, again, I've said it before, that my chalks were not showing because of the print of the fabric. So I had to show or do that on paper first. So what I'm showing you here is my crotch measurement. That that A you're seeing to C is the crotch depth. Okay, and in this case what I used was 11. You could start from 11 to 15 inches. There is no standard. Remember, it's really a very, very free trouser, very, very free. There is no it's not tight at any point. So what I did was use from 11 inches to 15 is advisable. So this is just it, crotch measurement and the full length of my trouser. Okay, so what you would do in this case, I would advise, is fold your fabric on fold like so. So what you would do, how to get the width of your fabric, that's the width of the fabric you should use. Now listen clearly on how you're going to get it. So to get the width of your fabric, what you will do is add the length of your trouser. That's the one you have already minused your waistband. You add your crotch depth to it so that you don't get to waste your fabrics. Okay, so the way I'm measuring right now, that place that I just touched right now, that is my trouser length. Okay, so you go towards the other side of your paper. or your fabric. Just watch what I'm doing. That's my trouser length, 32 inches, and the other part, that's the part that is left, is my crotch. So I repeat the same measurement that I did for the upper part on the lower part, but this time around I am starting my trouser length measurement from the other part, like I'm doing in this video right now. If you can see, now I have taken my trouser length measurement from this other part. The starting point was from my left to the right, while the upper part was from my right to the left, and what was left was my crotch, you know, depth. So this is just basically the secret, or the first thing to do when you're cutting your dhoti. Okay, so to get the width of the fabric you'll be needing, all you need to do is add your crotch depth. If you decide to use 11 inches or 15 inches, add it to the length of your trouser. Okay, so that gives you the exact amount of the width of your fabric. While the length, I would advise that you use a fabric that is 60 inches, so that when you fold on fold, it gives you 30 inches on each side. Now I'm going to connect the crotch depth, extend it by 1.5. okay, extend it by 1.5, or let's just say, yeah, 1.5 inch. Okay, I'm extending the line that ends, that's the length of my trouser line, 32 inches. Now where it stops, I'm extending it by 1.5, like I'm doing in this video. I will also go down and extend the other part, that's the bottom part, okay, by 1.5 too. Okay, so now what I will do is join those 2 points together, like I'm doing in this video. Okay, so when I join them together, tada, you're just going to see that we have already formed the dhoti. This is like the simplest video you can get, guys. Every video on dhoti is done with Hindu. I think this is like the only video that is done in English. So I have connected the point. This is just my trouser. Okay, now I'm going to separate them as I'm doing in this video. So this is exactly what you're going to do in your fabric, and you will see that that shape, or the blocks that I showed you earlier on, has already been formed. Okay, so this is one part of the trouser, and this is the other part of the trouser, as you can see. So what is missing here is our kali. They call it kali. That's the paper that is in the middle, the fullness, what makes the trouser really bulky, you know, because we also need to pleat at some point in this trouser, so we really need a lot of fullness. Okay, so that is just basically what we'll do. So remember your length again, your trouser length, which is, in my case, I used 32. So I'm just going to measure 32 inches length, and I used a width of 11 inches. Still up to you, depends on the fullness of the trouser that you want to have. If you want it to be really full, you could use more, but I think from 11 to 15 inches is just a perfect measurement to use. So I'm going down my trouser length, 32 inches, and I'm using 11 inches as the width of my kali. That's the middle part of the trouser. So this is just me trying to get my kali. I hope I'm getting all these names properly. Kali is spelled Khali. So that's just the reason why I'm pronouncing it like that. I'm not Indian. I only learned it, and I'm just trying to, make an English tutorial, because every tutorial on PATIALA Salwar or dhoti is in Hindu. Okay, so I'm just labeling it. That's 32 inches on 11 inches width. As you can see, tada, that is just basically how you cut your PATIALA salwar. So I decided to do this on paper. I'm going to be going to my fabric very soon, but I realized that it wasn't clear at all. If I don't do this paper illustration, I doubt if anybody's going to understand what's going on. So I had to take my time. This is just like, cutting two things at the same time. I had to take my time to do this paper illustration before I go down to my fabric, so that when it's doing you like magic, you could just rewind back and watch this video. So this is the one part of the trouser, and this is the other part of the trouser. So this is basically it, minus the waistband. We'll definitely cut the waistband. I did not do the waistband tutorial on paper, but I'll show you how I did it with my fabric. Okay, so this is just basically what we're talking about. Very easy, I assure you. This is like one of the easiest video. It took me days to really understand this video and put it into practice. So for me to break it down like this, I think I deserve a thumbs up. So this is basically the curly. You can see from my template here that what I did previously matches it. So this is the fabric, and you know, the position of my camera was quite far, you know. So basically everything that I did in the paper is what I'm transferring here. So I'm just measuring my 32 inches length, okay, and I'm marking it just exactly what I did. I'm marking my 32 inches length, and I'll go back and do the same thing. This time around I started from the right. Now I'm going to, okay, now I'm just marking my 1.5 inches on the crotch, the point where my 32 inches length stopped. I'm marking my 1.5 inches, okay. Okay, now I'm also marking from the right this time around to the left, okay, and I'm marking my 1.5 inch. I'm marking my 1.5 inch, okay, just like I did in the paper. Everything you're seeing here has been shown before. I just did the paper for clarity because I can see there is no chalk showing at all, so I just had to practically do that on paper, okay. So I'm just showing you how I was able to cut it on my fabric. I attached the points where the crotch, where my trouser length ends to the other point where my trouser length also ended. Okay, so after connecting the points together, I went ahead to, you know, separate the fabric like I'm doing in this video right now. I know that the lines are not visible, hence the paper illustration. If you have a question, kindly go back to the paper illustration. If you're still confused, kindly drop a message and I promise to reply you, you know, quickly. Okay, so these parts you're seeing here are just one part of the trouser each. The only thing missing here is the curly. That's the middle part of the trouser. That's what increases the fullness of this trouser. Okay, and I told you that the measurement of the curly, the width is dependent on you, starts from 11 to 15 inches. Also remember that the width also determines the entry of your trouser. Like the entry of my trouser is 15, so all I did was use the curly, the width in this case is about 13 inches, so that when I add my 3 inches from the bottom part, like you can see in this video, you know, it gives me an entry of almost 16 inches plus my sewing allowance. This is basically how to cut your curly. I'm going to upload the video of how to cut your dhoti trouser or your PATIALA salwar trouser. I'm going to upload a video on how I was able to sew it, because that is also a very important part. That is one of the reasons why you have to subscribe, so that you can get notified when I post the video. Thank you so much for watching my videos. If you have any question, kindly comment below. Thanks and bye.